thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Good morning, Vietnam. Have you ever seen that movie?
We've done this before. And I can't remember what did I say it was. I was wrong on it. Well, it's obviously Michael Scott from The Office in that one, but
it's Robin Williams.
Yeah, I know it's Robin Williams. Was it Deer Hunter?
I think it's Good Morning Vietnam.
God, okay. I did the same thing. I said, "What movie is it?" Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the title.
You know,
of the
like
movie.
when you know what something's supposed to be, and then you don't know it anyways, and you feel like an idiot. Yep. Totally been there.
All right, welcome back, everyone, for episode 339 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing, recorded live from Western, Northeast, South Dakota. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
Episode 339, Tommy, you know what that means?
Take 3 times 3, it makes 9. It's an equation.
The mark of the devil.
That's right.
Actually, it means last week, episode 338, was our 6.5 year podcast anniversary. 6.5 years.
I knew that one felt kind of special when we got done with it.
Yep. They had an aura around it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really know what it was.
It was glowing.
That's what it was. It was
All right.
the 6.5. So only half a year to plan to what we're going to do for our 7-year anniversary.
It's kind of amazing that I can never remember what month even the anniversary is in.
I think it's like March-ish.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know.
So about Arnold-ish time?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
does that make sense?
End of August or end of September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, end of March-ish. Yeah. There you go. Okay.
So that'll hit us at our 7. And you know what happens then?
Oh, it's lucky number 7.
Yeah, lucky number 11. More like.
Was Josh Hartnett in that movie? Was that who that was?
I don't remember that part.
He was one of those guys that
I
was
could be convinced that Josh Hartnett was in that movie.
He was in a lot of movies and then he kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
30 Days of Night. Do you remember that one? The vampire one in Alaska? That was pretty cool.
No, that also sounds like a movie that he...
I
what was
that
it?
one.
Like, what's his IMDb, like, best,
wasn't
top
he
of
in
the
like
list?
a lot of chick flicks?
Yeah,
Wasn't
that's
that
what I
his
feel
thing?
like.
You got me curious now.
I've never even seen the movie Swim Fan, but was he in
I
like
haven't
Swim
seen,
Fan?
See, that to me sounds exactly like a movie he would be in. Okay. Pearl Harbor, Black Hawk Down, Lucky Number 11, The Faculty. I remember that one now.
I do remember that.
40 Days and 40 Nights. Isn't that the one where he has to go like not have sex for 40 days or something? Never saw that one.
Not to be confused with 41st Dates with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Yep, not that one. Wicker Park, Halloween H2O, the 20-year, 1998.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Have you seen Black Hawk Down before?
I haven't actually, no.
Black Hawk Down is really good. It's a really good movie.
I believe it.
Kind of just hearing that, I haven't thought about it for a while, but I think it's a little underrated. I would like to watch Black Hawk Down again.
Yeah, the answer actually should probably be whenever you ask me if I've seen a movie. I'm just starting to think that I haven't seen any movies actually in my life. I'm bad at that.
I haven't seen very many Josh Hartnett movies. I've seen about as many Josh Hartnett movies as you have Tom Cruise movies.
Or episodes of The Wire.
Yeah, if anyone wants The Wire update, I've still watched no episodes.
Still not any.
But I have started to watch the new Game of Thrones.
Oh,
show.
have you?
That's the one thing I'm kind of watching right now.
Are you multiple episodes in?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, before because we get distracted on that. Let's,
That's a teaser. Talking more about movies and TV shows.
But we have to stop that teaser because we got a special announcement.
What?
Yeah.
Like, is this hot off the press kind of special announcement?
This is very hot off the press.
Ooh.
And this
Tantalizing.
This is important, and it's from our friends at Swisslink. Tanner, are you looking for the ultimate stack this bulking season?
Yes.
How about a sweet discount stack at Swisslink?
Okay.
They have got a massive selection of authentic military surplus on sale for Halloween, and code MASS will still work. You've used it before. It's back. It's coming back.
So it's in the past, it's been like a one-time
Your
use
first
only,
purchase.
but now you're going
The
to...
rules are getting flipped here.
Okay.
Now that's a stack worth talking about. At swisslink.com, you can find right alongside these classic military uniforms, a great selection of military issue backpacks, tools, wool blankets, NATO fuel cans, gas masks, emergency food, first aid kits, survival packs, camping gear, and so much more. The latest drop includes British chemical suits and body armor carriers. I'm pretty curious what this British chemical suit looks like. Swisslink's unrivaled collection.
It probably is in case you get around some bad beans and toast. Like you're like, quick, get the chemical suit.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's how they use that. Swisslink's unrivaled collection and dedication to quality customer service truly sets them apart from the rest. Trick or treat yourself to the real thing with authentic military surplus at swisslink.com. That's SWISSLINK.com. And remember this, already used code MASS, no problem. Swisslink has removed the limit from now until Halloween. Take full advantage of being a Massenomics listener and stack that code MASS discount with Swisslink's spooky sale and already bone-chilling deals. So that's swisslink.com, code MASS.
So you can stack, there's sale items and you could stack code MASS on top of it, even if you've already used code MASS before.
And yeah, you can stack code MASS. If you've used it before, it's coming back.
Okay, that is spooktacular. And you got about a month to take advantage of that, is what it sounds like. So yeah,
so get on it.
Those,
someone get that British chemical suit for Halloween. And say you're in Chernobyl or something.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Very good. Okay. Want to hear from something else here?
I do.
Let's hear.
I thought you'd never ask.
Do you want to hear something with your ears? Mm-hmm. That's the best kind of hearing in my experience. Let's see if I can get this to work right on the first go. Do you think I can?
There's a 50% chance.
This is the Strength Company. We've set out to build a better barbell plate on American soil. We ended up here at Wisconsin's legendary Wapaka Foundry. With over 60 years of ironworking experience, the foundry had the knowledge, technology, and processes to build our weights to our exact specifications. The Strength Company plates are slim but rugged, smooth but easy to grip, and electro-coated for durability and to look great in your gym. This is the next generation of American iron. Only available from the Strength Company.
The Strength Company. Yeah. Good stuff. I think last time I was saying how we just got some new Strength Co plates and how I already was thinking about how we needed more, and that's still the case. So if you don't have any Strength Co plates, I expect you should get some soon.
Did you see our friend at Gleck's Gym recently reviewed the Strength Co plates?
I watched the review even. So
I had to watch the
go
review too
out.
to make sure he didn't miss anything. And he didn't miss anything.
Some former guys that have done a pretty good review on the Strength Co plates.
Yeah, I think he hit all the. Yeah, I think he addressed all the known issues with that review.
He did well. Very good. Former podcast guest, also supporting member. Mm-hmm. So check out that review and go buy yourself some Strength Co plates. Someone did ask us in the Discord, what are we planning on being for Halloween? Last year, we were...
had a little Wayne's World going on here.
Right here. And have we done anything else in prior years?
We haven't. That's not to say we couldn't this year.
Yeah, it's kind of tradition now.
It is. You do it once. It is tradition.
We've dressed up like in suits and stuff before for like...
it's funny. So you made the post about two white lights.
Yeah.
And then the next swipe was us in our suits. And I had to be like... Is that real? I don't even know for sure. And I had to think for a minute.
Like,
and then
we did do that once, right?
Yeah, we actually had
was
those
that
on.
for like our 6-year anniversary or 5-year anniversary or something like that?
Well, was it for that or was it when we took photos for the billboard or was that a different night?
That was separate from that.
Oh,
because I'm wearing a different color tie for that.
Okay, so is that what it was then? I
think we did, because in the picture you're pouring champagne. So I think that
okay, yeah, it was a special occasion. Yeah.
But would that have been the 5-year? Yeah, it would have been, because if it was 6-year, that would have just been 6 months ago and we'd be remembering it better.
That makes more sense because in my head I'm thinking, I do not remember Tanner having a red tie on that billboard. That really stuck out as me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just funny that I can't even remember why we had suits on though.
I keep that red tie because it makes me feel really presidential when I wear that one.
Now when I was younger, I would have never thought of it, but now if I see someone in a red tie like that, I kind of think like, why do you have this? Like, this doesn't make sense. You're not a politician.
Right.
Why is this on? Like, I expect a politician to be wearing that tie, not like a regular old person, you know?
So comment on this YouTube podcast video or pop in the Discord and let us know who should we be for Halloween this year for our Halloween podcast episode. Let us know. And we'll see if we can make it happen. Yeah. Last year's will be tough to beat. I think it was a pretty it
was fairly effortless.
Yeah, right.
Well, we'll think of something.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give any spoiler alerts on the new House of Dragons.
Yeah, so how many episodes are you in though?
I think there's like 5 out or 6 out, and I've watched like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay, so you're mostly caught up.
And I like it, but like Game of Thrones is just really good. I guess I'm a sucker for it. I don't even know. I just think it's I just really like Game of Thrones. I think it's as good as it gets.
It is. I really liked it too, and I marathoned the entire last thing. I think I watched all of them in about 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah.
So I had this super condensed version of what that show is. And when you're going through it that fast, you're just like, what's next?
Yeah.
And it was just, it's like so good. And then it got done. You're kind of like, oh man, it's done. And then at that point, I knew there was this uproar online about what things people were angry about. And once I started looking into it, because I didn't ever take the time, you know, when you're just banging things like the episodes out, you don't have time to like read into theories and figure out what people might be thinking might happen, all that. You're just on to the next one. And then once you go back and look at what people were thinking and the ways it turned and what, like all the loose ends, I understood all of the resentment and the anger people had. I was very entertained the whole time, but I do get why people had all of these ill feelings at the end of the show. I'm curious how this one will play out.
See, and some people are really into it because they know stories like that are even like outside of the main books, because like there's these additional writings and stuff, and they know all the pieces of that. And to be fair, I don't give a shit about any of that. I just like the shit television.
Yeah, like entertain me.
Yes, like
I need an hour of escape.
Exactly.
Please deliver.
So that's why I like it. And
well, we said we're gonna watch it. We hate waiting.
To
weeks
from
on
week
end.
to week. Yeah, you'd rather like have the whole season come out and
or be only like within 1 or 2 of it being done. That way we can have 2 weeks and
it probably works out about right.
Yeah, so that's we'll do that pretty soon here.
Yep. So good stuff. I did have a couple notes in things to bring up. The first one is I want to mention Aaron Judge. Do you know about
Didn't he break his home run?
He's hit 60 or 61 now.
Outstanding,
Yeah, so I think it's like right at there of breaking the AL record, American League record. And we talk very little about baseball.
We do.
Of all the sports we do occasionally talk about baseball, maybe the least. And I don't like baseball very much.
That's been documented before here.
I don't really like it that much.
For
Although
both personal reasons and
the one thing about baseball that is pretty interesting to me is guys hitting dingers and like breaking home run records.
Kind of the best part of the game, right?
For sure the best part of the game. Like when Sosa and McGuire were in the home run race, like that was really cool. And then when Bonds was doing it again, a few years later, that was really cool. And Aaron Judge, though, this goes back to our discussion about just some pro athletes being just freak. Do you know how big Aaron Judge is?
Isn't he like 6'5" or something?
He's 6'7".
Damn.
285.
Yeah, a guy that big. If you are athletic, the speed you got to be able to get on a bat has to just be insane, right?
I would think so. I don't know that much about baseball, but like that is a huge man.
Just the size you have between the length of like your leverages and then the weight you can put behind it. You got to think the end of that bat is going crazy.
Yes.
I mean, the stats seem to prove it too, but
right, it does. I think as we speak, he's in like a little slump because the pressure's on here, so he's like
it's
been struggling to.
The temperature's getting turned up.
Yeah, but anyways, I just thought seeing his height and weight and just really makes you think like like some people out there are just
they're just
complete freaks.
Yeah,
and he's probably one of them.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Did we talk about with Jacob Ross the Jalen Hurts squat? Did that come up on that or not?
I think we did talk about that, or did we talk about that with somebody else?
That's what I couldn't remember. Was that in the gym or was that with him? God, it really sucks that you can't remember where these came up.
I can't remember.
I think maybe it did then.
Yeah, I do think we talked about it because he's just wearing
were.
like a pair of whatever shoes he was wearing when he was doing it too.
Okay, then we don't need to spend a bunch of time covering that again, I guess.
Okay. Another note I had, I just listed The Rock as the title. Do you know what this is about?
Well, so I think I do now, but I spent like 2 days like, what has The Rock done that Tanner is caught up on? And then I thought, maybe he watched The Rock, the movie with Sean Connery. Is that what that one was?
No, that's not it
And
either.
then because it was
not
because
that movie.
Because it was still in my mind. I was riding my bike home from the gym yesterday, and right when I got into my garage, for some reason I'm thinking of The Rock again, and I thought of, is it that damn rock that the vehicles are hitting?
It's that rock in between out front of Qdoba, just across the road from Menards here in Western
I
Northeast
did not
South
know
Dakota.
this was a thing.
Yeah, it's quite the thing, isn't it?
It is quite the thing. It's amazing. I didn't know
It's
this was
kind of
possible.
shocking, right?
Yeah, I was trying to explain this to my wife, and she didn't believe me. She didn't understand what I was getting at here.
Last week, there was 2 or 3 vehicles that
No.
got hung up. In the week,
No.
there was multiple vehicles that got hung up within one
I thought those
week.
pictures were over the course of like a decade.
No.
What?
Like, I think all those pictures are over the course of like a year or 2.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so we should explain what's going on here.
Yeah, so there's the entrance to our Qdoba parking lot. There is a piece of the landscaping that like juts out a little bit farther in that.
Yeah, it's just kind of like when they do those
semicircle.
islands in the parking lot.
Yeah,
You know, there's
it's a peninsula. Almost,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a and there's a lot of times there's a tree and some rocks
and they put this rock that's like, I don't know, looks to be maybe about 4 foot long, a couple feet wide or something like that, fairly flat.
And then is it maybe
Couple
a
feet
foot and a half, 2 feet tall?
Yeah, maybe like 18, 20 inches tall, something like that. And it keeps getting ramped up on, like not just ran over, but people keep running up on it and getting high centered. Like
to the point that their wheels aren't touching the ground.
Yeah, so there's a Facebook group for it now and everything.
Oh, there's
and
actually a group.
Yeah, and that's how I got all the pictures compiled in one place, because this Facebook group that somebody pointed out to me, and I'm like, this is crazy. I have to take all these and make a little because it is actually crazy. Like multiple vehicles a week will run up onto this thing and get high centered, and they have to have a tow truck. Like the cops, some of the pictures, there's a fire truck in the background. There's a cop in the background. Some of them, there's just the wrecker in the background. Like to get, and like a lot of them, people will say they'll hang around and watch, and like they'll pull them off, and the people just drive away. It didn't really hurt anything, but it's just funny they're stuck on there and can't get off, and they have to have a tow truck come and pull them off.
Okay, I gotta watch this video again here. Like this.
And if you want to see what we're talking about, we posted an Instagram reel.
Yeah, on 3 days ago, so September 25th ish.
Yeah.
There's one. It is pretty like all these people are taking the corner super aggressively. Actually, there's not even rocks in this one. It's grass, so you'd have to drive over a grass curb, or a curb and grass to hit this.
Yes,
it is. Some of these, they're ramped up there so far though.
Quick shout out to Big Alex, supporting member. This is a quick early supporting member segment. He just bought a drink spotter as we speak. So, and I saw him on there earlier. So shout out to Big Alex, supporting members.
Yeah, this rock is amazing though.
Yes.
Now that I know it exists, it's something to watch out for. Menards and Qdoba, that'll do that to a person, I guess.
That's you think people are all they're thinking about all the big money they're going to save at Menards, right?
Then they're going to just lose it on tow trucks.
Yeah. It's crazy though. I just don't know what's going on. It's almost a sick trick that they're putting that, because the rock serves as a bit of a ramp, the way it's positioned in face. that it has, it kind of
it gets you up there,
right,
and then you take it off the edge, and at that point you're gone.
That has to feel like quite the ride. Like if you're going fast enough to not be able to realize you're going up that rock and stop in time, and for it to go like,
yeah, and to you got to think you hit something bad when that goes, right?
You definitely smell what the rock is cooking there. So yeah, that's the rock segment. A little bit different than what someone might have thought if we were talking about the rock segment.
Just a little, not that much, but a little.
There was a big powerlifting meet this last weekend, and I guess it was
actually. Let's get something to drink quick.
Oh, you don't have to tell me twice.
It's the same flavor as last week. So
Hello.
why ruin a good thing?
I give it a 4.
Should we this will just be our segment every week. We'll just see how long we can have the same exact can.
I could
think of worse segments.
What a watermelon lime aha.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still good.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. It's real good. No, there was a big powerlifting meet. It was Pro Raw. Last year we went to it in Kansas City. It was called what? The Showdown?
Yeah.
And that changed. We don't really know the politics behind all that, but it did change to whatever it's called now. We weren't able to make it this year.
They said as part of it being changed, we will not be invited back. So they specifically
we made way too much of a ruckus last year.
Yeah, they said you guys are off the list. Do not even come within 100 yards of this place.
They're like, you guys are also banned from Chicken and a Pickle and Hawaiian Bros. Yeah. Wasn't Chicken and a Pickle the place? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it was. That was and Hawaiian Bros. Yeah, they said just don't. Actually, now that we think of it, don't come anywhere in Kansas City. So we said, okay, I guess we'll stay home.
Yeah. So we didn't go this year, but a lot of big lifting going on. A lot of the big names were there again, it looked like. And of course, John Hack, I think, broke more world records and he benched 600 pounds.
It's just stupid.
Joe Sullivan broke his squat record in that weight class, 220, whatever that is. Mm-hmm. Jamal Browner
pulled over 1,000
and broke the 242 total record. I think that's right. Yeah. He broke the total record.
And deadlift record.
And deadlift record, of course,
right?
over 1,000. Yeah, because the Dan's in 275,
yeah,
I think.
That's what I thought,
yeah. Anyone else? Any other big lifts? It's not on open powerlifting yet, so we didn't get to run down the total.
And do you know, did they do,
list.
Was there a women's day on, did they do a 2-day thing again? Men first day, women the second day? I didn't see
I don't
anything.
know if they did that or not.
I didn't see anything of a women. Maybe I don't follow the right accounts, but last year, we were there, but I also saw lots of videos of women lifting. I didn't see any of that this year.
Yeah, and the women's lifting day was a big day, though, too, because
Tamara.
Yeah, she broke the dead. That was one of the coolest moments of both days is when she was up there deadlifting. But it probably was not as fun without us. Can you only imagine that, though?
I gotta think that everyone had a much less good time.
I'm
This means pretty good, but you know what it's missing?
The Massenomics.
Those two guys.
Those two guys with that booth. What were their names? I'm not sure.
And I can't remember what the booth was called either, but
those two guys, it was those guys. They really made this.
Those ones.
Yep, that was us. Speaking of, actually, I know what I want to do first. Review time, podcast review time. Something we brought back here last, where we read a few podcast reviews each week. So this week it's from Apple Podcasts again, of course, but these are some Canadian reviews. I don't get to have access to these, but somebody sent them to me.
Our neighbors to the south.
Yeah, our neighbors to the south sent them up our way. First one, the best podcast Von Western, Northeast South Dakota, and this is from Fake Natty. Oh, this isn't a foreign language. That one I'm not gonna.
Okay.
So. That one, you just use your imagination.
That counts there.
Next one is from 242 Pound Dream. Daycare does not approve. My 2-year-old daughter and I listen to the podcast every morning on our drive to daycare. I've started to get complaints from her teachers that she keeps referring to everyone as big, attempting to lift all the furniture, and organizing a strongman showdown with the other toddlers.
She's going somewhere.
Yeah. That really means something when she's organizing a strongman showdown. She must listen to the classics, too.
Yeah, the deep cuts.
Yeah. This one's from D Swole. It says Frostback. Funny and educational podcast put up by two normal dudes that enjoy lifting, which is tight and something you can relate to. The Let's Get Stupid podcast is my number 1, but these guys are a close number 6.
Oh, okay.
JK, they're top 2 for sure. Alpha. I don't know about us being number 2 to those guys over in, aren't they from Iowa?
It's something that's maybe it's Indiana.
They're
something that starts with an I think.
Let's start always saying they're from the wrong state, like they say us from North Dakota.
To Iowa, Indiana, or
One
Idaho. One of those with an I.
Yeah. Those city slickers.
Yeah.
This one's from Pizza Lover 585858. I'm now an expert on cooled beans, piping hot LaCroix, and expensive lift shorts. Easily a top 10 podcast to come out of Western Northeast South Dakota. Obviously, soccer made simple is number one.
Well, there you got to admit when you're beat. And
Yes.
yeah, we were beat there.
This one's from Zach Wave. Came to hear John Hack, but stayed for the two guys talking about LaCroix for 30 minutes beforehand and been back every week since. Easily top 5 lifting podcasts to come out of Western Northeast South Dakota. Maybe even top 4, but I don't want to get too political.
God, we're really getting ranked high by everyone.
Yes.
The rankings are out.
Okay, and this is the last one. I saved the best for last, our best Canadian review. Some of you may have seen this one already. This one's from Greg, and he says, crap, avoid. 1 out of 5 stars. Self-indulgent 20 minutes wasted at the top of the show, waiting for the guest who is infinitely more interesting than the two nobody hosts. Audio quality is poor. Best to avoid. There are many better podcasts that are worth your time. This is just interest filler.
Well, there's a lot of subjective things there, but I don't think you can say our audio quality is poor.
Don't think that was kind of my
I'm not
joke.
going to say
of
we
like,
have world-class
Yeah.
audio quality, but there's a good chance if you listen to 10 podcasts, our quality is just as good of like the top 3.
what does it mean? This is just interest filler. It's filling interest for people.
Yeah.
I don't like. Is that even what are podcasts?
Does he mean like it's just, I don't know. It's just our self-interest, like self-serving. I don't know.
Also,
Gotta read
why
between
wouldn't
lines
it
there.
be? Also, it's our podcast.
yeah,
Our
it's-
podcast.
Yeah, we're not reporters here.
Right.
We're not putting out a project for you to review what we did. We're just talking about what we want to talk about.
Yeah. I always like that the people that are like, I just wanted the guest. Why did these guys talk for 20 minutes beforehand? Well, it's like, it's not,
Who the hell's talking to the guest,
right.
buddy?
It's like, this isn't Mike Israel's podcast or John Hack's podcast or Jacob Ross' podcast. This is, if we never talked, you'd be like, yeah, like it, I
Like
just
John
don't, I don't understand what the
Yeah,
expectation
John,
here
no
is.
No one talks to John. He doesn't say anything. His podcast sucked. But then we talk and it ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't win them all.
I do appreciate that review, though. Those always provide really good content and get a lot of interesting feedback from people. So that is a throwback segment called
Canadian
Instagram
reviews.
/YouTube /Canadian Review of the Week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Instagram comment of the week. That's been a long time on that one.
Yeah. So that's a little throwback there. We also have supporting members segment. So this is a relatively newer segment to the podcast. Most people are probably starting to become a little bit more familiar with it, but we have these supporting members that choose to monetarily support the podcast each month. And to give back to them a little bit, we have the supporting member segment. So this week, got a few people that did some stuff. And we always like to recognize when some people do some cool stuff. So Big Sarah competed in her second jiu-jitsu competition and won a bronze medal.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's cool beans. Big Ben got third in his strongman competition. Yeah, that was his second ever strongman, and he won the sandbag load medley in his class.
Nice.
So well done,
Yeah.
Big Ben. And then last, certainly not least, Big Eddie's wife, let me get this right. Big Steph at the New Holland City Fair entered quilted items in 9 categories. She won 4 first places, 4 second places, and 1 non-finisher.
Wow. That's an impressive podium
Yeah.
percentage there.
She totaled up the prize winnings, 0 entry fees. She spent over $1,500 in fabric, thread, and other supplies, and she won $37.
All right. So it might be worse returns than powerlifting even.
Yes. Yes, maybe even worse than
Did
powerlifting.
you really like the money fast?
Yeah, that's what.
That was a great way of looking at it.
Yeah. Spent over $1,500, but won $37.
That's amazing. I mean, to be honest, if you said she won like thousands of dollars, I was going to be totally shocked.
Yeah.
The 37 that's good.
Yes. And speaking of scarves, head over to spud-ink-straps.com. They've got Gateway Squat Suit Velcro Adjustment. Let me say that differently. It's a Gateway Squat Suit with Velcro adjustments.
Okay.
So I got to give you a rundown on this particular product. So as with all gateways, there is always the next level you weren't supposed to cross, but such is life. Welcome the Gateway 1-ply and 2-ply Squat Suit. The best-selling Gateway briefs that changed the market as a super light and flexible brief for all-purpose lower body training to protect the hips and legs from injuries led to the Squat Suit as an additional support tool. The Gateway Squat Suit can be combined with the Gateway Brief for added hip and leg support or used as a solo training aid for the competitive lifter who wants to trade hard and compete but does not want the hassle of super tight material that takes forever to get into. So I think that's interesting.
Can I see a
hadn't
picture of
seen
these bad
before.
boys?
Yeah. It looks like
Are the adjustments up top? Is that
yeah, I assume that's how it.
okay? Yeah.
But I hadn't seen these before, and I thought that was a pretty interesting product. So it sounds like their Gateway briefs that we've talked about before led to
Velcro comes over.
led to this
Okay.
Gateway Squat Suit.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I can see that. I can see how that would work. How those would be
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that's interesting. Gateway Squat Suit, and pretty affordable, I think, as far as this lifting gear goes. It's $120. And it's a pretty substantial piece of equipment that you're buying when you get that. And maybe if you're someone that's interested in moving over to the dark side, this gives you a pretty good taste of what that could look like and what could be like. So I think that's pretty cool.
Probably have more fun with this than you would with the 8th barbell that you're thinking about buying for your
That's
home
true.
gym, right?
That's a good point. So you can get this and a whole bunch of other good stuff at Spud Inc. It's spud-ink-straps.com. Make sure to tell them that Massenomics sent you, and if you order $75 or more, you get free shipping on all U.S. orders.
Well, damn, that thing ships free no matter what then.
Exactly. Money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank. And then, let's see, should we do one more? One more add to them, or
Yeah, I think we
can
could
do
do
one more for them?
Hate to leave everyone hanging.
One more.
One more. This episode is also brought to you by Bearfoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Barefoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Rawr! It's like a sassy bear. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. And while you're there, use code Massenomics to save 10% on your purchase. Tanner and I both have Barefoot shoes. We're rocking the Ursus High Top in black. The suede is amazing. The craftsmanship is great, and they keep getting finer over time. They're like a fine wine. Yeah, they just keep getting better and better.
And then you can also I think the Bruin is available for pre-sale. Maybe the Bruin is
the boot?
The work boot that if you look closely at some of Chris Duffin's videos, you can see him swinging an axe and wearing the Bruin around. And I think you can get that on pre-sale now.
I have to do a little more digging.
Discount code Massenomics.
Yeah, take advantage of that. Be the first. Someone get on those, review it. Let us know how it looks, how it feels, how it goes. Once again, Barefoot, www.barefoot.shoes. Use code Massenomics to save 10%. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes.
Thanks, Barefoot. Should we kick the Discord crew off? Give them the old 1-2 kick out of here?
I think so. See you, Discord.
About time we got rid of those guys.
And if you want to be a part of that Discord, Massenomics.com/join, you can get in on all of these sweet perks, like hearing the first half hour of the podcast live every week, being part of a super exclusive community of like-minded individuals.
Really active.
Very active community.
There's a discount code in there.
Yeah, there's discount codes. You're the first to know about what's coming out.
Early access to drops sometimes.
Get to know some of the hot, juicy gossip going on in Massenomics.
That's probably the best
powerlifting,
part,
and
yeah.
other parts of the world. So, yeah, it's a pretty good place to be.
And we'd love to have you, so come join up. There's multiple different options, levels that you can join in at.
And let's
we'd
be
love to have you
honest,
on
like
any
you've
of them.
spent enough time on Instagram. You need something else to scroll through.
Yeah,
This
and
is
maybe
that
you're
thing.
like, I don't really buy many lifting related shirts and shorts and stuff like that, so I don't want to support these guys that way. This would be a great way for you to support us, or you want to support us in addition to that stuff that you buy. Either way, we'd love
We'll
to have
take
you.
them all, yeah.
Yeah. But now, for our guest. Maybe. Oh, she said call again. Should I try it again?
Well, is that what she said?
Yeah, she said wait. Well, slightly confusing. Wait, call again.
Yeah. Is it wait, call again, or
There was
or
no
wait, call again? Like,
Yeah, it was.
There's two ways you
wait,
can take that.
call again.
okay, maybe call again now. We technically did wait a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
It wasn't very long.
It was not specified how long to
Yeah.
wait, so we'll
We'll
try
try
it
again.
right now.
I guess worst case scenario, we'll just.
Oh.
Oh.
Good evening.
Hey, did we catch you this time?
Well, I forgot that. So I got that iPhone setting that if a number isn't saved, it doesn't ring.
Yep. So you blocked us.
Not on purpose. I was just like, oh crap, I have to. So I just hurried up and saved it as Massenomics. I just saved it as that.
Yes,
Really fast.
So for everyone listening, this is Bonica Brown that we've got on with us. And Bonica, how's it going? This is Tanner.
And this is Tommy.
Hi, Tanner and Tommy. I'm doing all right. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, it's
Sure.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay, good. Excellent.
I don't think we've talked to you really probably since powerlifting meet. Like,
In Sioux Falls, probably 4 years
yeah,
ago.
I mean, other than like stuff on the internet, but like in person or over the phone, probably not. It's been a long time.
Yeah, like in person, it was Jonah Leo's meet like 5 million years ago. Yeah. And every time we go to the Arnold, we always miss each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like you got stuff to do when you're there usually.
I try not to. I was going to go to the one. I was going to be a spectator, but I'm like, screw it. I don't want to spend all the money right now. I got had the Sheffield to worry about, but then COVID happened. So.
Yes. So are you doing what was the last meet you did? I know you had Worlds and the World Game and some stuff like that. What was the last one, or what is your order? Because you kind of just do the top tier meets as if you do those, you're kind of stay busy with those. So what ones have you done and which ones are coming up for you then?
So this year I did the Powerlifting America Nationals. That was in April. And then I did the IPF Raw Worlds in June, and then the IPF World Games in July. And this year it'll be Equip Worlds, which is November. And then it's up in the air if the Sheffield people have to do nationals or not. So I'm mentally prepared, have to do that. And then the Sheffield. So that's what I got on my plate as of now.
So you're
Anyway.
saying like Sheffield, if you have to do another meet for that to technically qualify for it or something, is that right?
No, I already qualified for the Sheffield. It's just for us that have like go to Sheffield, like the World Nationals is like 3 or 4 weeks prior.
Oh,
And it's like we don't, and like me, well, I always do back-to-back competitions all the time. And I'm like, I'm mentally prepared. I'm ready for it to go
Yeah.
back-to-back again. But we'll see. Like, because I didn't have to do the Equip Nationals for Powerlifting America because of World Games. And then also Raw Worlds was 1 week prior and like traveling back. And so
if you
I was
all,
able to get out of it.
yeah, so if you all skipped that nationals because you have the Sheffield coming up in a few weeks, which is, maybe more important or a bigger deal for most of you, would would technically you not be able to qualify for Worlds that next time around if you didn't do Nationals? Would that be the problem then?
So they're trying to find a medium ground of how to qualify for Worlds. So we don't know what the verdict is yet. But it's just easier. Like it's just go to national. But it would suck for like Keiko and Chance Mitchell. The ones that have to go like head to head, or Delaney. And Jesus and Ray. Like it's a bloodbath for them.
Right, and this is an America only problem, right? Like we're the only ones with our nationals like right before the Sheffield, aren't we?
Pete Spence is the one to answer that question. He's the one that studies like all the countries.
Yeah, Big Pete is the SPUD guy, right?
Yeah. But like he did share with me like a long time ago showing of like when other countries do their nationals, and it makes sense to do it in October. Just do it in October like a whole bunch of other countries do.
Okay. Well, I suppose there's still some figuring that out, and like Powerlifting America is relatively new, and like there's probably that could change, and there is some fine tuning going on with some of that probably still.
Yeah. Or just have it in January. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just have it in January. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. So how many IPF gold medals do you have? How many times have you won?
11.
So do you know what are the 11? So it's like there's a decent number of single ply and raw in there then, right?
Yes. I didn't know I was going to be quizzed on this. I'm really bad knowing my own stats. Hold on. I really am. So at least raw, it's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 22. So that's 7. And so equipped, I at least did 18, 19, 21. No, did I? There's 11 in there somehow.
Okay. But there's several of both.
So it's fairly even.
There's more raw than equipped. I'd have to write it down. That's hard.
Yeah. So did you, how did you, when you got into lifting, powerlifting, competing, were you raw originally before ever single ply?
No. So when I learned lifting and whatnot is when I was a kid. And the only thing around back then was equipped lifting.
Right.
That was the only thing. So what raw became popular in like 2012, 2013, something like that. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't lifting at that time. That was during my 5-year break of absolutely no lifting. So I was totally out of touch with powerlifting and everything in general.
So what was your timeline there that you, like, when had you started and originally competed? And then when was your 5-year break and why did you take a break? So
officially like USAPL and everything was 2003 to 2008. Okay. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was only 15. I was a baby. So 2003 to 2008. And then 2008 to 2013, I didn't do any lifting. And it was just, met a guy, life, work, work all the time, go to school. And, I was just like, basically like in hindsight I was just like imposed, I guess, that, I didn't need to do powerlifting or whatever, waste of time. But then in 2013, I'm like, I want my competitive lifestyle back.
Yeah.
I wanted to lift again. And it was just a fire just coming back in my heart and made me happy. And like, I don't want to let it go ever again. And so I've been back since 2013.
And just taken all of the medals since then.
Yeah.
I do my best.
So if you could only, going forward, only do one, either raw or single ply, which one would you pick?
That's too hard. I don't know because I have goals in both that I want to do.
Is there one you enjoy doing more than the other?
Like raw is easier to train because I don't have to worry about equipment or making sure there's people around to help me put it on. But I like doing equip because you can do more weight and push your body to the max of how much can I put on my back and chest and pull off the ground. Mm-hmm. Like it's different and challenging, and
right.
So it's hard to pick.
For everyone's benefit, so they understand too. Like, what are your best raw numbers, and then what are your best equip numbers in comparison?
Okay, what did I do? I did 608 pounds raw squat. My bench, I don't remember. I think I've done whatever. I didn't do that much. I think it was only 152.5 or 153 or something.
It's about
like that.
330.
338. Yeah. 330,
Okay.
340. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's tiny. Yeah. And then my raw deadlift, like I did a 550 like years ago, but honestly, like I don't post it like other lifters do, like their injuries. So I've had lots of downs and like injuries and whatnot that affected my deadlift. And so I haven't been able to improve it. And well, then I got injured from an athletic trainer before a competition, so I got screwed there. But 550 for now, but
Okay.
I can demolish it.
Yeah, okay.
And equipped, I did 711 recently on squat. I've done 485, but it was really easy. But I know I can do more. And deadlift, the equipped deadlift, it's non-existent. Like
So it's the same basically as your raw,
Well-
like, do you think, or?
So for us, and like Becky Holcomb can contest this. So when it comes to us and equipped, we're always screwed over. And like one competition, our full power was done in an hour and 45 minutes.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
yeah. So when it comes to deadlifts, you're just dead. I'm tired. I'm like, I'm done. So like you can't truly max. I have not. And there's been competitions. I'm like, F it. I'm going raw.
Like,
I don't want to put the suit on
Is there
because
just
I'm tired.
one flight,
Yeah,
or how could it?
how many people
Yes.
are in this
Yeah.
competition?
So like the IPF, and they don't care. And I don't care. It's on recording. Like, so this is what happens in a competition, especially for me. I get screwed over. So once I rack the squat, they start the 20-minute clock. They start the 20-minute clock for the break. So I don't even get 20 minutes, but all the other lifters do. And so I'm waddling off the platform
Because you're the
in my knee
last
wrap.
squatter.
Yep.
Yeah.
The last freaking squatter. So like you're waddling, trying to get to the warm-up room and go, hurry up and bench. Like honestly, the bench is already set up and I'm still in my squat suit and I do my first warm-up in my squat suit.
Well,
I
this
just put
is
my feet
in-
on the bench.
In a bench, and this is equipped. So you said you got to get a
Yeah.
squat suit off and you got to get a bench shirt
yeah.
on.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then like, so then you heard, then, oh, boop, 20 minutes has gone by. It's not even 20. I get like 18, 17. And so
Yeah.
then
Wow.
when it comes to deadlifts, same thing. I'm towards the end. I may not be last, but like second to last, whatever. Still, rack, that 20-minute clock starts. You don't have time. And it sucks. They don't wait. So like, USAPL, we wait for the platform to set up, then the 20 minutes. So you might get an extra 5 or so. Nope, not IPF.
That does feel too fat. Like
Yeah.
that feels like there should be more
I
time.
don't feel like it's not possible to say that in powerlifting, but that
Yeah.
maybe does seem too fast.
It is, especially for equipped. And so people ask, what's my PR on deadlift? Like, I don't know. I have not had the opportunity to truly push myself on it because of so many different scenarios. You can say excuses. I don't care. But it's like, dude, you're not in my shoes, feeling how I feel and how it's so fast paced. And like people in training wonder why I try to go fast. I'm like, you don't get it. You don't get it. I don't have time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
even if someone said like, "Oh no, I'm going to go to the gym and max out today. I'm going to do all 3 lifts and I got to do it in an hour and a half." You'd be like, "That's not ideal. You
Right,
shouldn't
right.
do it that way."
Right.
No, that's seriously. So like that was Czech Republic for us, And so I lifted raw deadlift. I'm like, I don't care. I'm raw. I'm done. Or like I did try in Sweden. But like, so there was only 5 of us in that flight. So the spotters and loaders don't care. And they're loading everything super fast. And then we supposedly get a 2-minute break because there's not enough people to make it 7. But I'm like, dude, you're loading the weights in like 10 seconds and then it's the next lifter up. So like your attempts are literally 4 or 5 minutes apart.
Yeah.
Like I should have passed my second. That's what I did on squat.
Right,
so
right.
that competition, I did my opener, passed my second, and went for the Hail Mary for the world record on third on squat. And I should have done that on deadlift because maybe I would have had a PR that day. I've done 575 for a double in training before. Done that.
You just give yourself a longer break, like an artificial. Yeah.
So, but World Games, I don't know. They took away that deadlift, so that was whatever.
Okay, so
260.
that's of course on our list. Something we
I
wanted
know.
to
I'm
ask
bracing
about.
for impact.
And just to be honest, we don't know exactly what the scenario was. So, but we just know there was a lot of controversy around it. So just explain what happened. Like we just
Well, I
even
could
so
cry.
we understand it better too.
Well, if I cry, don't get mad at me, but I can cry. It hurts. Like no one will ever feel the pain that I feel what the IPF did to me. And like they actually screwed me over the past 3 competitions on deadlifts that I've done with the IPF. 2019 Dubai and with Becky, they red lighted us for supposed hitching when it's the bars resettling.
Right.
And that's in the rule book. That's okay.
Yep,
we get
that
red
is in the
lighted
rule
for it and
book.
they don't
Yeah.
care. They don't care. And then in South Africa, I got my 3rd deadlift taken away. And then the World Games. I'm like, so IPF just doesn't like me, in my opinion.
In the World Games, was it a reviewed lift or something like that?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. There was no replay.
Okay.
So I went out there and honestly, like I had an injury, whatever. And my body, and like, this is what makes me cry. I was like, my body was there for me. I was like in pain, like going to the competition. I was hurting. And then that day I woke up and it was like, it's game on. And like, so I didn't fail, but the IPF failed me. But I went out there and I did the deadlift and it was easy. So easy. Like I knew I had it. And our opinion, my opinion, I don't care. Let the world know. I think the jury, there's a certain person on the jury was trying to influence the referees that I was a bad lift. And, they didn't like my second one, which looks the same like the third. And supposedly I'm not locked out. And I'm like, that's lockout, but okay. And so the head referee just gave the jury what they needed to finish me off, to not let me win. And they just took that red light, and this one jury member who does not like Americans and had a personal vendetta against me from like 2 days prior, which I will say, I'll explain that story in a second. So they had a personal vendetta against me, and I just don't think they wanted me to win. And it hurts.
So in that case, is it a jury member? Like, do they get to overrule one of the lights then, or how does that actually work? Like what?
So if you get one red light, I was told that supposedly there was a protest, but I don't know how it was a protest, but I don't know how true that is, but the jury can just step in without a protest, they can just step in if there's one red light. And so I was told at Raw Worlds, it was the same thing. The jury was never involved enough at previous competitions. So they were going to go really hardcore at Raw Worlds, which they did. They took away so many lifts at Raw Worlds, and they're getting over involved,
right.
Taking away lifts that are good. And like the ones that are bad, I'm like, really, jury, you're okay. And so when it comes to a 5-man jury, only 3 of them have to agree. And so it was 3-2. So 2 people said it was a good lift.
Okay.
3 said no, but the IPF did not consult with the 3 referees on the platform. They did not consult those referees. Gaston, I'm just in shock, staring, and the whole crowd booed. The crowd booed so loudly. You have no idea how, it was so loud. And Gaston called all referees to the stage. Any referee that was in the audience, on the side, in the auditorium, to the stage. And it was like a debate for like 15 minutes. And James Townsend, who's the team coach, he filled out a formal protest where you could slap down like €100 or whatever and fill out a protest.
Right.
But there was no video to review, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
There was, I can't believe it. Every other competition, but the biggest competition, you don't have video to replay, nothing to look at. And so I'm like, I wonder if this was on purpose. It's on purpose to not have video replay. Like, I couldn't believe it.
It's things like that makes you feel like, how can you, like, those are the things that make it hard to take it seriously when they start talking about like Olympics and stuff like that, isn't it?
Oh, I would do whatever it takes to not go to Olympics now. I don't care. I don't care. But and it was just they did, but like I said, they didn't even talk to the referees, the other two referees. At least said it was a good lift, which are the side referees where it matters, where you can truly see lockout.
Right. So
And that's the video that went viral. That's from the side.
So do you think that you know, the ones, do they have it out against Team USA, or do you think it was more personal, or like what do you think? What's the reasoning for it?
USA and personal. So the referee that I know that doesn't like me, and the one that said to go home and assess your deadlifts and do better to my face at the banquet. Oh yeah, the person said that to my face and in front of my coach, and we just gawked and we were just in awe. Like you're like, we just couldn't believe it. Like that was said to me. But a couple days. So you know when you go to a competition,
But
there's
that's
a
a ref that said that to you, though. Is that?
Yes.
Don't you be like,
Said that.
you're like a
The
ref?
jury
Maybe you need
person.
to like rethink where you align into this whole equation.
Oh yeah. And what's funny is the referee that said that to me was actually the head referee for my coach during like when my coach was lifting, when he was lifting. And then what's funny is like his deadlifts were overturned, and they're like, look at the jury took away the calls you said were good. How do you feel? And then like, you did that to my athlete and you think that's okay. And you know, it's like, it was a double-edged sword there, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, in a competition, how there's a training room that's supposed to be accessible to lifters at all times.
Yep.
I was denied access, and a couple other people. I'm not kidding. So this training room, I'm like, why can't we train? This is supposed to be accessible when the venue is open. I should be able to go in there and train. Oh, it was being held for an interview. I'm like, I don't care. That interview can be somewhere else. And the referee just like, oh, well, you Americans, you can just, I don't know what he said. Like, you can do whatever you want. So you walk around like you roll the place. I'm like, I just have balls to say something. We get to have access to that room, and I'm being denied access, and so is he, and so is he. And then I think that person down there wants to train too. And I want to train so I can watch Taylor and Kimmy lift, you know? And so I had to wait 40 minutes for this interview to be done. And so I think that referee held that against me and was conveniently on my jury. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
now we know the story.
Yeah.
At least.
Politics is normal.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep.
The rule.
It's against me. Like, they just didn't want me. I won, you know,
Yep.
but that head referee just gave the jury what they wanted with the whisper in their ear and ran with it.
So you're not gonna like go out to eat with them next time you're around or anything like that, you don't think?
Oh, I don't want to be around any of the referees. No. When I go to Equip Worlds, like I'm not going to be anywhere in sight. I will only show up when I have to.
Okay. That seems fair. On a different note, everyone's been talking about the IPF bench rule changes lately, and for most people, like we talk about it, but we don't compete in the IPF. Most people we lift with don't actually compete in the IPF, but you actually do. I don't think you've ever had an extreme bench arch, so maybe it doesn't matter to you, but maybe it's some of the people you're competing with it affects. But just wondered what your thoughts on it are, like if it's a big deal, or maybe you don't think it is. I'm not really sure what people actually competing in there think of it.
Well, to me, like, I think my bench is fine. I think I'm fine with it. Like, my arch is just, I can't even go totally flat back anyway. I have partial lordosis, I swear. I don't know. But when I saw that Instagram story, I didn't even have to watch the competition. I'm like, dude, Gaston doesn't like the 1-inch archers. I mean, the 1-inch benchers. Like, duh. It's common sense. The raw lifters killing it. Like, and that's what happened. A lot of rules that have been made, it's because of raw lifting. It's just people are blinded by it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in the sport for so long. I'm like, Equip lifters don't do this. It's raw. Like, this is where it's coming from. So it affects everybody. But when you go to a gym and a person benches, it's full range of motion,
Yep.
And I'm fine with the rule happening. People shame me. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's a bench. A true bench to me is full range of motion. Stroke your arms, move your arms.
Yep.
What Arnold and all these other bodybuilders and stuff, they do that. They did that. To me, that's a true bench. So
That checks
but the
out for
judging
us.
thing, but the judging thing, like I didn't read the rules because for me, the way the IPF treats me, I have to go beyond it. And so like a fellow teammate messaged me and I just told her, I'm like, dude, make sure your elbows break the bench or go beyond the bench. She's like, but that's not, she's going for the bare minimum. Like, this is the IPF and me. I have to go beyond the bare minimum. I have to dip. I have to go like sink it. I have to be motionless longer. I have to hold it at the top longer. I'm like, I have to go to the extreme. So you can't just do the bare minimum. You have to go beyond. So that's how I put it. Just have your elbows, get down there. Then it's no question. You're not leaving any benefit of the doubt.
That's good. No, to ask you a question in just a different way than I asked you a question before that you didn't really answer.
Oh crap! Sorry.
What was a bigger deal to you, squatting over 600 raw or squatting over 700 equipped?
Doing 600 raw because equipped, I want a bigger number.
Okay,
so I'm not there yet.
Gotcha. So 700 equipped is more of a stepping stone to where you think you'll get that than.
I can squat 700 easier multiple times than 600 multiple times.
Okay.
Like that's a harder barrier in my opinion. And like walk out and sink it, no question on depth and shit, like that's a squat to me. And so like when I went to Raw Worlds, like, I know it wasn't a PR, but I'm like, I freaking did 600 again. I'm happy with that. I'm happy, so for me, that's our like equip 700. I've done it multiple times in the gym. So that cake, now it's like, you need to go for the bigger. I guess it was a big deal. I finally did hit it because I wanted to for so long. And then I finally did it, but now I'm hungry for more.
Okay. No, that makes sense. You're out of Omaha, right?
Yes, I live in Omaha, Nebraska, but I'm originally from Battle Creek, Michigan.
Okay. Do you ever see Lou Nutter down there in Omaha?
Yeah, he works. Yeah, he works out at my gym. You guys knew that.
Yeah, we just wanted to talk about. him.
A loaded question.
Do you keep him in line usually then, or?
I don't know. I think he got butthurt that I was trying to give him advice on his deadlifts a long time ago.
I would take advice from you.
I think he got mad.
Yeah, okay.
He's going to give me shit for saying that. Like, sorry, Lou. I could tell you got mad at me that I was brutally honest one time.
Okay.
And then there was a long time you weren't at Omaha Barbell deadlifting when I was there. So I do notice patterns.
So what is the best gym to train at in Omaha?
It's honestly Omaha Barbell. Like there are other gyms, but like our culture and community of people, it's great. Like I've been to other gyms and OBB, it's family, and there's always people there willing to help and it's just family, like honest. And we got plenty of great equipment. Like we keep getting more equipment. Brett, who's the gym owner, he keeps getting stuff. And like he expanded it, like whatever shop was next door, he was able to get that, acquire it and made it a powerlifting area. Like he's always thinking on making it a better gym. Like he's going to get some strongman stuff in KC sometime. And I need to bug him again. I'm like, yo, when are we road tripping? Like we're going to get some, I don't know what they're called. The finger thingy.
Yeah.
The finger thing.
Yes. Nobody actually knows exactly what it is, but that's close. That's that. Everyone knows. Yeah.
And then I think we're going to get a Conan's wheel.
Okay.
I hope
so
I'm
a couple
right.
like really big pieces of strongman.
Yeah. I'm like, he's getting stuff.
No, Omaha Barbell looks really sweet. I'd like to get the chance to check it out sometime. We've had the opportunity to lift in powerlifting meets with some of those guys before, and all really good. A lot of fun. Like it would for sure be a good crew to lift around, I think.
Why don't you lift at the Eddie Cohn meet? It's a name.
Yeah, that's true.
Just sign up for it.
I think that that's become a pretty cool deal too, hasn't it?
It is. And Eddie is the head referee. And then like he'll critique you if it was a good lift or a bad lift, and he'll even help you call numbers sometimes.
So will you
Yeah.
do you help ref at that then too, or what do you?
No, I don't get to ref that.
Okay. Can you not? Is it because of the federation or something like that? Are you not allowed to do that?
Well, I can help at it because it's technically a non-sanctioned beat, so I can do other stuff.
Okay.
But the stupid IPF and water rule, I can't even help it. I can't even announce at USAPL meets. No.
Oh, at USAPL even because of the IPF.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I can't even announce. They purposely wrote the rule of saying that a speaker or / announcer is like an official role of a competition. And so like I said, they are against me every which way possible. I swear.
It's pretty amazing how it almost feels like it's just rules just for the sake of rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I can't even Colorado, Rachel loves having me out there to announce. And I had to tell her, I'm like, I can't. And which breaks so many lifters' hearts, because they love it how I just announce and talk during the competition and encourage and help. And then now I can't do it. The same thing with Quentin up in Wisconsin. I can't help him. It sucks.
Yeah, that's lame. I wonder, at that meet in Sioux Falls, did you do some reffing? Did you do some judging there or something when we were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was before the split of any kind. So
yeah, that was yes, right. That was well before the split. Yeah, right.
Oh,
right.
I've been a state referee since 2007.
Okay.
Long time.
Okay. All right, we've got this little game we like to play with every guest that we have on called Overrated, Underrated, and we've put together a very special Bonica set of topics that are just handpicked for you, and we'll fire them off at you, and it's just your job to decide if each one's overrated or underrated, and you can elaborate that on that as much as you want to. It's totally up to you, but you just have to remember that you can't ride the line. You have to come up ultimately with either overrated or underrated for each one.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
All right.
I'm scared.
These are pretty intense, so.
Oh gosh.
brace yourself.
Okay, I'll hold on to my desk.
All right. Number 1, overrated or underrated Skyrim?
Well, I think it's underrated. I love the freaking game. I don't care what people think. Because you can save at any time. And you can pick different characters. You can go different routes and do different things. I love the freaking game. And the 10-year anniversary edition, there's a lot more shit to it. And it's fun.
So because it's a big game, do you have a lot of hours invested in it?
Oh, I haven't been able to play because I've just been so busy with training. I was going to play tonight even. After this, because I have time. Oh shoot. At least on one character easily I've done 300.
Okay,
definitely.
okay.
It's a minimum. One character. But I like to take my time and look through stuff.
Yeah, but so you've put some time in though. You're not you're going for it.
Oh no, I got multiple characters. I'm on
Okay.
character 6 or 7.
Okay.
The hard part is picking a name.
So
I'm what's the
so you
name?
must have been playing for quite a few years now though, right?
Ever since it came out.
Oh, you have been. Okay.
But granted, I'm not a gamer who gets to play every single day.
Yeah,
right.
But at least you could save at any point. Any point. That's the biggest thing I love about it. And then I can actually figure out if I haven't played it for 6 months, I can figure out exactly what I'm doing and just keep going. I played yesterday.
Okay. Is there any other commonly played games, or is that your go-to?
Well, I just got a Switch, so I'm going to get my own Let's Go Pikachu and get Skyrim for it.
Okay.
Just gotta have Skyrim available at all times.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, I got the Switch. So I know I want to get the Mario Kart and whatever other cute shit that I can get for it.
Yeah.
That. So I haven't dwelled into it yet. I just got it.
Okay. All right. Good on Skyrim. Overrated or underrated the World Games?
You know what? I don't, man, oh, shoot. That's hard to pick. Crap. I need a better angle. The World Games in general, it is a big deal, but like being treated like crap, I want to say overrated. I'm like I said, no one will ever understand the pain. Like you win and then you're stripped of it. And like that was the hardest thing ever. Actually, and just a fun fact, I do not have the medal. I once I got off that podium, I took it off and I went to the warm-up room and I said, I didn't come here for second place, and I threw it. And the trophy. I threw it on the ground.
So nobody knows where those are at now.
Oh, I do know where it's at. Somebody else has it.
Okay.
A USA person has it.
Okay.
And I said, don't you dare ship it to me. It will be returned to sender. I threw it. I didn't go there for second place.
Well, especially when you win the first one, it kind of feels like a really bad consolation prize.
So no, I don't even have it.
So were you saying overrated then?
Yeah.
Okay. Overrated or underrated orange sauce?
Orange sauce?
Yeah.
Like what? Like on Chinese food?
Yeah. I saw something that you were meal prepping and you had like a big orange sauce as part of it. So I wondered if that was a go-to.
There's multiple orange sauces. Like I mix sriracha with mayo, or you can get the yum yum sauce or the actual orange sauce. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah, like the actual orange sauce. Yes. and also, where do you rank it in
comparison to those others?
To yum yum and sriracha. What's like the tier list of those?
Well, I finally found some stinking sriracha because there's a shortage or whatever.
Okay.
I finally found some, and I have this huge thing of mayo, and I can't wait to post it. I'm so happy. So I'm gonna mix my mayo and sriracha finally. But I like my mayo and sriracha mix, and then orange sauce, like whatever, and then yum yum. I don't care about buying the yum yum anymore.
You don't like yum? I thought yum yum's not too bad.
Well, there's this. Okay, I know this is yum. It's still orange that you can buy at Walmart. It's called yum yum sauce. You can use for seafood and chicken or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just like mixing the mayo and sriracha more.
Yeah, sriracha and mayo. Like, what do you like to put it on?
Chicken. I just mainly eat lots of chicken.
Okay.
So sriracha and mayo is a lot of people do that combo, right? Like that's pretty common. I've never done that before.
So I only did it because you can buy the mayo like already like that in a bottle, and it's like, why can't I just make my own? It's
Right, yeah.
And you can make it spicier or not so spicy.
It's like for a while they made like as a gimmick, it was like peanut butter and jelly in one jar.
It is. It's called Goober. That's
there you go. Yeah.
I don't know if I need that
what are you talking about?
together in one jar.
Yeah, I want to control the ratio there.
I want to do that myself.
Yeah.
It is. There's stripes of it.
So do you
That's
have to,
what
you
I
have to
ate
keep
when I had
that in the
COVID.
refrigerator then, I assume, right?
No.
Okay. That concerns me then, though, too.
If you eat it fast enough, you don't have to. But it's fine not refrigerated.
Yeah, I'm not huge. Like, jelly's fine, but I want like 10 times as much peanut butter as jelly. Like,
I agree with
what
that.
I would struggle with there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not 50-50.
Yeah.
But it's good for like if you're on a trip, though. And just have that one jar, a short weekend trip or something.
Oh, you mean you don't bring a big glass jar of jelly with you everywhere you go? I'm the only one.
It's just easier, and you just slap it. Just put your knife in there and slap it on the bread. It's faster.
Is it only grape jelly then? I feel like it's just grape jelly is your only choice.
That's the common one, but there is strawberry, just that the stores sell it.
I don't think grape jelly is even close to the best flavor of jelly that I would
What do you think's the best flavor of jelly?
I would rather go with strawberry than grape for sure.
No.
I don't really like grape jelly. I'm like,
gotta have the purple jelly.
I'm like, yeah, it shouldn't even be called grape. It's just purple jelly. Nothing about it is like a grape.
But grapes are made. That's how you make jelly. They're from grapes. You got to take them off the vine, and you got to smush them, and you add lots of sugar, and you use the cheesecloth to wring it out.
I like jam better than jelly. I guess part of it.
Tanner's kind of a hipster.
Yeah, I'd rather have a jam, or actually, to get really crazy, strawberry preserves.
Oh God! You bougie with your bougie with your jelly jam
Jams.
preserve.
Yeah.
Can't even bougie.
Yeah, he's all like muddling in the bottom of drinks over here. And
Yeah, but goobers, that's what that's called. I do remember that now then too.
Yeah. I ate it when I was sick with COVID. Well, I had it because I did a trip and I bought that. And then when I had COVID, I had no appetite. I could still taste, but I just had like my stomach did not want to take in anything. But I force fed myself at least one goober sandwich. I'm like, well, at least it was calories. I lost like 12 pounds. That was great weight loss program.
What?
Okay. So, all right. Since we're talking like peanut butter and jelly, do you guys remember Uncrustables at all?
Oh yeah, those still are
they still make
around.
those?
Yeah, I know.
My kid gets those. Yeah.
When my brother, when they were in college, they had an deep fat fryer, and they loved to deep fat fry the Uncrustables, which
That might not be bad.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Also, not the best habit to be in either.
Yeah. I know my powerlifting moms, like, you know, in Lincoln, there's one that always has those.
I've
for
never had
snacks.
one before.
It's different.
Also, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich isn't that hard to make, or like like
my wife bought some for my boy a couple months ago, and I'm like, like you take the bread out and you put it like it's done. You're almost not saving any steps here. It's,
right.
But you can hold it in your hand like a pasty.
That's true. That's true. What brand of peanut butter do you go with?
Oh, I'm not picky because I always just put it in a shake and blend it up.
Yeah.
But Jif, if I had to be a brand bitch, is Jif.
Okay. Choosy moms choose Jif. I know that.
Yeah, so Jif. But like, I can have anyone, you know?
I'm kind of.
It's just going to get blended up.
I'm not even sure if there's even a difference between Skippy and Jif.
the price. That's the
Which
difference.
one's more expensive?
I think Jif's usually the most expensive one,
okay.
isn't it?
Okay.
I usually just go for whatever one has the best deal on it.
Yup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it gets blended up. So.
Okay. All right. Overrated or underrated Pokemon Go?
Oh, it's underrated. People like that game. People still play that game. Dude, it's like the freaking number 1 or 2 top grossing freaking game. Okay? Go to Mall of America like I did on coincidence, and there's hundreds of people in that mall playing the game.
Okay.
Or even downtown Omaha. There's people walking around. Now G Leahy is open. It's going to be packed with Pogo players. Like...
So
No,
I've never played it before.
I've never played it either, and I always think it's like died out, and then I'll be listening to a podcast, and they'll be talking about how this week we were playing Pokemon Go.
Like, is it making like does it go in waves? Like, is it in more of a resurgence right now or something? Or
No, it's always making money. They're always banking
Okay.
and like people spend. I did spend a little, not like I don't spend a ton on it, but like buy coins here and there. But no, they just had the world championship of PvP, player versus player battle in London a couple weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. They had a tournament, world championship tournament, and actually a player that's like in our Discord who lives in Indiana. He was actually, did he go there? I don't know. I think no. No, he was at a different one. No, he was regionals. There's even regionals like across the United States.
Damn.
Like there was one in Minneapolis, one in Columbus, Ohio. I think there's some in Indianapolis, Florida, or Texas, out west somewhere. Like there's regional PvP battlers, and like I'm part of a whole bunch of Discords all over the states, and there's active people on there all the time.
would you rather
Like-
win one more IPF World Championship or win one Pokemon Go PvP World Championship?
Oh, no. Powerlifting. I'm not a PvP person.
Okay.
I collect the shit that is good for PvP, and I just make my neighbor play my account when he's bored. I'm like,
Okay.
here you go. I got the stuff to battle with. You can do it.
Okay.
I don't do it. But
Are
the
there-
game is better now than when it started, though.
So, like, are there like some of the Pokemon? Like when you talk about going to the Mall of America, like, are there some you can only get at the Mall of America, or is it just a fun place to play it there?
It's a fun place to play, but there's always events. There's always like, so Community Day. Community Day is a 3-hour event. So you try to get as many shinies as you can, or it could be like an XP event or a Stardust event, or there's Go Fest. So when I was up there for Rammstein, the same day was the final day of like Go Fest. So there was one in June and then this one in August. And so Mall of America, there's lots of spawns because you want places with lots of spawns and Pokestops and gyms. And Mall of America is a breeding ground for it. So you want to go to a dense place. Or like here in Omaha.
Are you
go
saying
to
you went to Rammstein concert in the cities?
Yeah, there was Rammstein.
Yeah, I knew there. So you went to. Yeah, how was it? I knew that there was.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my second time seeing them. I got to see them. I think it was 2011. And I think it was Dallas is where I got to see them the first time.
I didn't know they were still like around right now.
Yeah, well, the concert was supposed to be 2020 and then, postponed to 2021 and then postponed to this year.
Maybe you know this. Wasn't the lead singer like an Olympic swimmer or something for Germany?
I have no idea. Okay, I don't study people
I feel like I've brought this up like to you multiple times, Tanner, and I never look.
I don't know the answer to that either. Still. Okay.
Oh, well, I just like their music. Seriously, if you want a show and like pyro and stuff,
do they still do all the flames and?
Yes, I need to post my little videos and pictures. I just haven't done that because I took so many and I want to look at them and take my time. But like, I picked the best seats. I don't care what people say. I love where I picked our seats because I knew it. I knew it was going to be a good spot because of my experience in 2011 that I faintly remember. And so like, I didn't want to be in a fire zone on the floor with sweaty bodies and standing and I want to be in the bowl. So I'm like in the lower bowl, but we're in the middle. And I'm like, I know they're going to have a stage in the middle of the arena. I knew they would. And we were right in front of that middle stage. I'm like, yes. And then like the main stage was to our left and you could still feel the heat. In the stage. And we actually had pyro and fires in front of us by that middle stage.
You know what?
I loved it.
When you're saying all this, you know what I picture? I picture you in that scene from the movie Triple X with Vin Diesel and Ramstein's playing and there's flame everywhere. So I just picture you in a Vin Diesel movie.
Yeah, but they didn't play that song. Believe it or not, Fire 5, they didn't play that
Really?
one.
They didn't?
Oh,
why would they not play that song?
I don't know. They played other ones.
Did they play Du Hast?
Of course.
Is that like the last song that they come out or like
it wasn't the last one that they played.
Okay.
I basically did videos like almost of all the songs that they were doing.
Yeah.
I just need to post them.
One other thing about Pokemon before we completely get off Pokemon is the three of us are all similar-ish ages, I think. Like, did you grow up playing Pokemon at all?
Yeah.
Or
Okay. Like, are you talking like red and blue, and like yellow
Pokemon Yellow?
Oh, for me, red and blue, I played those things so many times. Like, but that was where that was my Pokemon experience. It was like the first 151 Pokemon, and then outside of that, like, I just the Pokemon world moved on without me.
I've never played. I do not even to this day. I don't know what Pokemon really means.
Oh my God.
When you play it, I've never owned a Pokemon card before.
Would you do this? We'd go to our friend's house and you'd have the cable and we'd trade them with each other and all that. Oh yeah. And then there was the.
Do you need to borrow my Game Boy?
Oh, I could pound through some of those games. Oh, I loved it.
But like, what are you saying? Was it a card game that you were playing, or was it?
No, I'm talking on the Game Boy, the cartridges.
Okay.
You'd play, and then you'd collect the Pokemon, and you could collect the Pokemon, and then there was it was almost like a USB cable. You could connect your two Game Boys, and you could trade Pokemon with each other.
But so would you do the cards though? Then too,
I actually had. I mean, I bought the cards too as a kid.
Okay.
Like I had a holographic.
But the cards are a game themselves,
yeah,
right?
the cards are a game.
But you weren't
Yes.
playing that.
I did collect those.
Yeah, I collected some, but like my parents weren't gonna buy me tons of like.
Yeah,
they just wouldn't buy me tons of cards. So I was like, okay, you get the cards once in a while, but like, all right, here's the Game Boy game, and this will keep you busy for months on end. So
yeah, the cards you need quite a few hundred, and that was a lot of money. And because you need to make decks.
Yeah, and also like as like a fifth like grader ish, I just didn't have the time to like learn the card game. Like that wasn't as interesting to me as playing the Game Boy. Like Game Boy was always way cooler.
Okay, what Game Boy was it?
It was Game Boy Advance, wasn't it?
Or no, Game Boy Color.
Yeah, it's a Game Boy Color. That's right.
Game Boy Color was the same shape as Game Boy.
It was the purplish clear one. That was the one I had.
That's the one I had that one. I still have it.
Because Game Boy Advance was a way different thing.
Yeah, that one was like sideways.
Yeah.
Game Boy Color.
That one sideways. Yeah, and then they made the Game Boy, but then the Game Boy Advance SP, which is the square one, which I still have. I got all three still, and I got the DS Lite.
Didn't Sega make something like
Game Gear.
Sega Genesis?
Well,
I don't know that.
Game Gear was like their Game
handheld.
Boy.
It required like 12 AA batteries. Like,
I don't think it ever caught on very well.
I never heard of that, but I do have my Sega Genesis still.
Yeah, Sega Genesis was not as good as Nintendo.
not quite. No.
Yeah,
But it has Sonic.
Yeah, I mean, they did have Sonic though.
That's
They
about
had that
yeah.
going for 'em.
That's most.
I don't know. I
of it.
got some Barbie game I could play.
I think I remember playing Road Rash, the
I
motorcycle
remember
game.
Road
on,
Rash. I remember Killer Instinct. It was
Okay.
a fighting game. There was some other ones, but
okay, so we've got
Shaq Fu, obviously.
well, obviously, yes. There's one overrated, underrated topic left, and we usually always save the best for last. And usually the last one is like how you do on this last one decides your performance of like the entire podcast. So
Oh no.
yeah, a lot rides on this. So overrated or underrated? Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I don't know anything about Sioux Falls.
You've been there. We've been there with you before.
You've seen us there before.
I don't know anything about it. Wait, you know what? Here we
you still
go.
have to
No,
answer.
it's underrated because I think, why the hell does Mitchell, South Dakota have the freaking Cabela's? Why does
Yeah.
Sioux Falls not have the Cabela's? Why the little podunk corn palace,
See,
whatever the
yeah.
frick that
I
is?
thought you were gonna say, why does Mitchell have the Corn Palace?
Yeah, yeah.
No, what the freaking corn palace? I didn't know what that is. But why does Mitchell, South Dakota have the Cabela's?
Did you
that
know-
makes no sense.
Did you know that the I Like Corn kid came to the Corn Palace here like earlier this last month, and he's like
Oh my
South Dakota's
gosh.
official like corn
But
representative.
he's not from South Dakota.
No,
is he?
no.
Okay.
I think they like flew
They
him
just
into the Corn Palace.
made him an honorary member
Yeah,
of South
yeah.
Dakota for the okay.
Oh my gosh.
So
no, so I'll say underrated because it doesn't have a Cabela's. Mitchell has the Cabela's.
Yeah.
No sense.
So you've been to Mitchell before too?
Yeah, I
Okay.
was there because that's. Oh, he's not going to hear this. That's where I went on a date, and like that's where we met. And I'm like, where the hell is Mitchell, South Dakota? I had to Google map it, and I'm like, this little town has the Cabela's. Like, why couldn't we go to Sioux Falls? I was.
You never
so
know.
puzzled.
That
I'm
guy
so
might
puzzled.
be a big fan of the Massenomics podcast.
Like a 50%
No.
chance.
No, he's not a power lifter. He listens to country music all the time, and no, he
Well,
doesn't.
he could be a fan of Tanner then.
yeah, I
maybe.
like country music a little bit. So
Okay, maybe.
So
I say underrated.
So
'cause it
Sioux
doesn't
Falls
have-
underrated, Mitchell overrated.
Yeah.
Any other South Dakota towns that you would either under or overrate?
I don't know that. Wait, isn't that Wall Drug or whatever?
Wall, yep.
Yeah,
Wall
Wall.
is South Dakota.
Okay,
Have you-
what's so special about that place?
Nothing.
They're experts. in
Okay, that's
marketing.
overrated.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, that
Wall
is-
Drug is overrated
is-
for
yes.
sure. If anything's overrated, it's definitely Wall Drug.
There we go. I just had to think about it. I had to make sure it wasn't a
Yeah,
Dakota.
that's a good call.
That one.
Yep. Good idea there.
It would have been really funny actually if you're like, you know what, that place is really underrated.
You're like, what?
I don't know, wasn't this other place like Aberdeen or something?
Yeah, now that's
No.
underrated. Yeah.
That one is underrated.
That's the hot
It's
spot.
kind of the cultural hub of the entire
That
state.
should have the Corn Palace.
That's true.
With a Cabela's inside of it. Even.
Oh my gosh, no, if you have a freaking Cabela's, I'm still going to be like, it needs to be in Sioux Falls. It's a bigger city.
Yeah. Good news. It looks like you passed overrated, underrated. So
Yay!
that's really good news. Something to
Oh, but
celebrate.
a fun fact of a Cabela's, though, the one I think in Nashville or Tennessee or whatever, it has like one of the largest pyramids in the world.
Well, yeah. Is it? So is that the Bass Pro Shop or is that the Cabela's? Like, because aren't they kind of
No,
the same thing now?
Cabela's.
Oh,
I don't know. We got a Bass Pro
I
and
think
Cabela's,
didn't
but they're
Bass
two
Pro
separate
Shops
buildings.
buy Cabela's?
That could be. I don't know
I think
for
they
sure.
did because I always thought it seemed so backwards. To me, Cabela's seemed like a way bigger name than Bass Pro Shops, but I guess people don't wear Cabela's hats ironically like they do Bass Pro
That's
Shops.
true.
so-
Everyone does wear
so
Bass
what
Pro
do I
Shops.
know?
Yeah. That's a good point. That is a good point.
But I'm glad I passed. Yay.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So that means we will air this episode. We're not just going to dump it now.
Okay. Did I do good? Did I behave myself?
Yep, you passed. So even if we're not going to rob you of you passing,
There's
Oh,
no
thank you.
jury here, so you don't have to worry about any of that.
oh wait, we have to send this to the Massenomics jury quick. There may be something's
gosh.
changing. We're not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, are they the 3 blind mice?
Well, it's 200 angry gentlemen.
Well, I'm going to have my team of 300. My army of 300, I should say.
Yeah. No. So this was really fun. We really glad we got you on. It was well overdue. Is there anything? Say again? What's your next competition so we can make sure to be watching and cheering, and everyone else can be too.
I'm going to go to Equip Worlds
Okay.
in November
And where's
that's
that? Where's that at?
in Denmark.
Okay,
So,
Cool.
yeah.
that
Gonna
is
go
cool.
over there.
Okay. Well, we'll be cheering for you for them. That's not that far around the corner, actually. And what about like sponsors or anything like that? Is there any of that stuff you want to get out? I think you're probably sponsored by SPUD, I'm guessing.
Yes, correct.
Yep. Yep.
And like Appleton Coffee with Steve.
Yep.
But
We've
you
got
know,
some
like
Appleton
what-
coffee mugs that he sent us one time that are pretty awesome mugs.
Mhm.
I love it. It's like lightweight and like I love it. I got one too.
Yep.
Quest Nutrition, like not like the Quest bars, whatever, but like the OG Quest Nutrition by Sherman, out of Atlanta, Georgia. So he helps me out with supplements and whatnot. And so, but yeah, that's what I have for
Okay.
sponsors and whatnot.
All right. Perfect. Well, this was awesome. I'm glad we got you on. We'll I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this episode.
Or they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get shamed. I'm gonna get negative comments.
No.
Like, oh my gosh, she said that."
No, the only negative
well.
comments we get are about us, and they say,
Yeah.
"Why do those two guys talk so much? We just wanted to hear more Bonica."
Yeah.
Hey, at least you guys say my name right, so you get brownie points for that.
We usually try to make sure that we do that beforehand. So,
It's one of our
to
specialties.
be fair, like we kind of like to have these little rivalries with other podcasts, and the guys at Two White Lights say your name wrong a lot. I've noticed over the years.
But
so.
you know what? And I'll get shamed for this, and they will like the. Oh no, they'll forever say my name wrong. Well,
Yeah.
I know Angelo. He does take pride and say my name right, but the other guy,
Steve.
I don't know. Okay, his name is Steve too. Okay,
Stev.
Stev. Okay, Stev. So somebody pointed it out to me again, like a couple months ago, that he said my name wrong. And so I made an Instagram story, and his response was because I blast him on social media and not private message him, that he says my name wrong. That's why he keeps saying it wrong. That's the bottom line. That's what it equals to. I'm dead serious. I'm like, so I can't, you have, so in the end of the day, I'm like, he gets to have a podcast to vent out, but my way to vent out is my stories on social media. So I'm like, it's, yeah, well, I have to secretly send messages to. So I sent a DM. I'm like, please don't say my name. Please don't mention me in any more podcasts. I don't care. I said that. And I'm like, don't mention me. I don't. But then I get the response, but you're a well-known lifter of achievements and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but you say my name wrong. It's disrespectful.
Yep.
No, I flat out said that. So I don't know, whatever. I just think it's really rude. And like people should call him out and frown upon it more, because that it's just rude to not say somebody's name right,
Well,
and it's not made up.
We don't
You
know
don't have to worry about
because
that.
we
with
always
us.
say it right.
Yeah,
So
But that's what truly happened like a few
Okay.
months ago, because I say it on so
Just
yeah.
another check mark for the Massenomics column.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thanks for coming on, and we can let you get back to. Let's see. You didn't say you're going to play Pokemon Go, right? What did you say?
No, well, I could
Skyrim,
drive
maybe.
around downtown.
Skyrim. Yeah.
Well, there's a new Pokemon out. There's a new event. I do need to collect some so I can get a lucky, do lucky trades.
Gotta
and stuff.
catch them all, as they say.
Exactly. Yes. So it's a toss-up, Skyrim, or because I don't have to work until 8 a.m. tomorrow, and that's 6. So I don't know.
ugh, I'd go to bed.
I'm already counting down the hours.
There's no debate there.
Yeah. Okay, Austin, this was a lot of fun. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. You guys have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Give her the double cool beans.
Double
didn't
cool
ya?
beans.
A full double serving of cool beans.
Bonica lived up to the hype.
Yeah, maybe she's gonna have her cool beans with some grape goobers jelly.
Covered in goober sauce.
Goobers, yeah, I forgot about that. That's what
I
that's
did
called.
too. Isn't there kind of like little guys like on the? Isn't there like little illustrations of like a kind of like a grape guy on the jar? I got to see
Like a
it.
goober, I guess,
Yeah.
right? You know, in one of my business classes, it was a group project thing. Like if anyone's gone to like business school, a lot of your classes, especially the more
Yep, here it is.
oh, I want to
Yep,
see this
just
first.
like a kind of a little
Yeah,
illustration
yeah,
of a
yeah.
little
Okay.
of a like a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
grape. And
That's
a
way
peanut.
too much jelly in the ratio,
Yeah.
though. Like I was picked, like as
Well,
we
you-
talked about it, I'm like maybe the jelly is just a sliver per. Like that's would be the ratio would be way off
Yep,
on that for me.
that ain't right.
But a group project, it was like
They're
for
always
a
trying to get you
marketing-
like pitch ideas.
yeah,
kinda, right?
like you're always pitching ideas, and especially for the less like analytic business classes and the more like marketing, especially marketing,
more free thinking. Really get the
right,
wheels
that sort of
turning.
stuff. And one of the ones this was not my idea. But I was also like, I wasn't the idea man, so I'm like, I'm not going to shoot down. If someone else has something we can at least roll with here, let's.
Right.
I'm all for it.
Was this part of your group or was this a different
This is
group?
part of my group. My
Okay.
group. So
okay.
our concept was a peanut butter sticks, like how butter comes in a stick,
Okay.
and it's there's a woman in my group. This is her idea because peanut butter is commonly used for baking purposes. And then
So it'd
just
be
like a
easier
stick
to
of butter,
measure
you
out.
cut it off and measure the tablespoon amounts so that the peanut butter would come in sticks like that. And then you cut it and measure. And she was pretty sold that this was a good idea. And to me, I have no background. I'm not a baker myself. And I thought,
Yeah, I'm not either.
but I could wrap my head around the thought
I
that
do
they could appear in
get
a
that.
stick like that. It seems weird, but also probably a lot of new ideas seem weird before they're
Yeah.
a thing too.
Seems
But
like really specific packaging for one.
yeah, and I do remember the professor did not like the idea,
Like shitting on it.
but it was
Well, does
like
will peanut butter stay in a stick? Because I feel like that is one of the things butter has going for it is if you don't leave it in the stick, it still stays in that
Yeah.
shape. It doesn't turn into like a blob on your counter.
I suppose there's things you could do in the process to make it slightly more. But
Because
then
the
not what's
problem
the
is we don't
effect?
have enough preservatives in our food, right? You know the problem with peanut butter? It's too pure.
But what bothered me, what I will forever remember with this professor shooting down, and granted, I also thought it maybe wasn't that good of an idea, but my thought is, I don't bake, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe there is some merit
And
to
I'm
this
not
idea.
the one asking a bunch of kids to come up with some crazy ideas.
And he was also not a baker, and I just thought, really, like,
Maybe
how are
you're
you
not the
shooting?
target
Yeah,
audience
like,
here,
how
man.
are you
Yeah.
shooting? Like, I feel like you're too narrow-minded on this. Granted, I think he's right. It was not a good idea, but I just kind of wondered, like, if he had the right,
Yeah. If
Right.
he was really the expert in this case.
right, to be able to shoot it
If
down.
he was really the Mark Cuban
Yeah.
of this Shark Tank.
And I don't think it really generally mattered if the idea itself was good or not. It was more of everything that was built around that.
Yeah.
But one other thing that I'm thinking of, this is a good story for the podcast as far as business school.
I love these.
A lot of people.
Because I didn't go to business school, and you know who else didn't go to business school? Michael Jordan didn't go.
Yeah, what is that on?
Michael Scott.
Yeah.
When he goes to Ryan's class. it's
Right,
like,
right.
A lot of people didn't go to business school.
Yeah, and he names
Kobe
off
Bryant.
like professional, professional athletes, like pro basketball players. There's this simulation, and that at the university that I went to, this was undergraduate. It's common that everyone, this was like a capstone course, had to go do this simulation. It was a computer online program, whereas shoe company, where you're selling shoes, like you're competing against, the Nikes, the Reeboks, the Adidas, and you have the shoe company, and it's you get to position your shoe company in the market however you want to. Do you want to be a low cost leader? Do you want to be a high cost? And it goes down to things as far as like selecting on your marketing budget. Are you choosing to have high level pro athletes. Like you have so much money to work with.
Right.
And this is a week over week simulation. So you go to class and like they put you up on the board of where you're positioned at in relation to everyone else in your class. Because you're competing against
you are.
everyone else in your class.
At this point in time, was one of the variables as an option, was the checkbox exist for going viral? Was that an option?
No, actually a way different. Yeah, social media
so
marketing wasn't even a thing. When I was, what
might be the biggest part of the marketing picture didn't
exist whatsoever. Yeah, wouldn't that have blown their minds to be like, yep, we just broke the game. We're not doing any of this shit.
Write this damn program all over again.
We're going to send our shoes to a bunch of, people that.
There's going to be this really oddly addictive program run by the Chinese government. And if we can get some people on there to push our shoes, it's going to be the next big thing.
And so this was like a 4-person group. And the team that you're in, we had a lot of responsibilities to do. Like that, just the simulation wasn't our only thing that we were partnered on for this class, but the simulation was a huge part of the class and a huge part of the grade. But so our theory, I was with I was in a pretty good group of guys that I was all kind of buddies with. I wasn't necessarily weren't my closest of buddies, but it was people I've been adjacent to for a long time. And we kind of, maybe had a few parties together. I kind of know these guys.
On the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page. We want to get shit done without, we don't want to our goal is not to be the ones that put the most man hours into this project. We want to do as good as possible, but yet do as little as possible.
The least investment, the most return.
Exactly. So we're dividing up things and saying, all right, you're going to be the simulation guy. We're not going to sit here and the 4 of us aren't going to meet on this. It is on you to lead us in this simulation. Say I wrote there's probably a big paper that we did, and maybe that was my.
You were the paper guy.
Yeah, right. And so the simulation guy, he was on the football team, and he said, I'll be the simulation guy because there's a service online specific to this program, because many schools use this or used to use this.
Okay, so this wasn't like a one-off bespoke program for
no, this was a widely used business. There might be people listening to this that actually use this too, and it's been too long for me to remember the name of it or anything like that. But there's a service you could pay that kind of told you that gamed the game.
Told you the moves to make.
Instead of it wasn't in the true spirit of the simulation. It actually was gaming it. That was just almost like cheat codes and shortcuts of no, do exactly this, and this in week 2, and you will be the high performer no matter what. It's just it kind of
that's what seems kind of dumb, because those things, they're just rewarding you based off of predicted outcome, I guess.
Right.
That's kind of not how that works anymore.
Right.
You don't just do A, B, and C, and now you have a profitable company.
Exactly.
Maybe back then that could have worked that way, but it doesn't feel like that's necessarily how things go anymore.
True. And it is way different now than it would have been, almost 15 years ago when I was.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. But we gamed it, and I use the word game. Somebody could probably use the word cheated. But I wouldn't specifically. I think statute of limitations is over long enough that cheating couldn't nip anyone in the bud at this point in time. But it was a paid service that in order to allow us to game the system,
and that paid service,
and we had the best. We kicked everyone else's asses, and he put almost no time. And he said it was fairly expensive.
Oh, really?
But that was his contribution. He was like, this is going to cost me no time, but I'm going to foot the bill. And we were all in agreement. All right.
We can't argue with that.
So he's like, I'll foot the bill on this paid service.
And you're like, I'm once removed from this, so I'm clean.
Exactly. That was also my thought. I'm like, even though in your brain you think of that's how you justify it. In reality, that's not.
We might be weaving the same tangled web, but I'm not touching.
Yes,
this.
I'm one spot removed from it.
That's
that was
amazing.
my
I'm
story.
Curious what type of other wacky shenanigans they do in business schools nowadays.
I've got. I'll maybe save some. We won't do a whole episode here of.
But I'm just curious because things have changed. I get it, a lot of it. a lot of it has not changed at all. Like it's
Right,
like, okay, you got to know
right.
how to do the number side of things.
And at the basics, like conceptually things,
Yes.
concepts, ideas haven't changed. It's more so like the exact application of things.
The execution of how that might go now is quite a bit different.
It's just way different. It's like way different mediums.
And it like changes so fast. That's why I'm curious how that part of it ever gets discussed. But that is actually the way more the marketing than the business specifically.
Right. That would be specifically marketing, probably.
Not something the bean counters want to get involved with too much.
That's right.
And for anyone that was wondering, you went to one of Canada's top business schools and got really good grades, right?
Is that from The Office? Or that's
Nathan for you.
Yeah, that's Nathan for you.
Went to one of Canada's top business schools and got really good grades. It's all like
that's
C's.
right. My son even picks up. He always laughed at that part of it because he could see the
so
report and be like, "Why is that really good grades?" No, I went to the University of South Dakota. The U,
as
we call it,
as most people in the country.
Yeah,
know.
the U. That was my business school update.
It's pretty good.
Anything else we had to hit people with? I did want to talk to everyone a little bit about Juggernaut AI. Juggernaut AI is what Tommy and I have been both using for our training. I wasn't at the gym today. That must have been yesterday that we were at the gym together. We were both hitting up some Juggernaut AI, and we've been loving it. Both making progress. Both kind of getting through a cycle right now. I think you just said you're just starting your peaking block.
I just entered the peak.
And I'm getting towards the end of my peaking block and making progress. And a lot of the people that we've witnessed in the gym that have got on it have been making really good progress as well. And part of it is I think sometimes people are averse to really having a set program and sticking with something for a long time. And a great thing about Juggernaut is once you get going on it, it builds a lot of momentum in the way that once you get started and rolling on it, you kind of want to continue rolling on it. I think like that's a feeling that I have, that like once I get it's building on itself, it's learning more about you as it's going, and you're learning more about it and the app as you go.
Juggernaut makes the perfect case for the bigger time investment you give something. I'm not saying like time directly in the gym, but like a time investment of 6 months or more.
Yeah.
The more you get rewarded. Like,
yes,
there is something like as someone that's done 8-week programs for almost their entire lifting life.
Yeah. Just stacked back to back.
Just stacked 12-week programs, 8-week programs, even 16-week programs. When you do something that's looking at the even bigger picture, you can really get rewarded because you can really build those foundational blocks that really set you up towards the end.
Absolutely. And the best part about all of that, you can use discount code Massenomics to save you 10%. But when you get signed up, what you need to do is go in your browser. Don't go through the App Store. Go through your browser and go to juggernautai.app and then sign up with this discount code Massenomics. With the code, it
will not let you use a discount code through the app. You can only use discount codes on the internet.
So if it's allowing you to use a discount code, that means you went to the right place.
Yeah.
It'll cost you about $30 a month. Cannot go wrong. I feel like there's no like long-term contract. If you really decided it's not for you, you could get out of it.
I think the first month's even free, I think.
When you put pencil to paper, pen to paper, whatever you like to put to paper.
Whatever utensil you use to make markings.
Do you ever like to have a marker board like in your workspace? You don't have one here,
I actually, at previous jobs, maybe thought marker boards might have been the answer. I get it. I think if everyone works somewhere long enough, they get, at some point, management of one level or another gets caught up in the whole Kaizen, lean manufacturing, Toyota way of doing things. And
so where does marker board fit in?
I can see the value of it in what part of that is the signing part, where you make things super obvious, because if people can't see it, they don't know what's there.
Right.
I get that part of it. For me, working alone organizationally, it all has to be digital. It has to be like everything's digital. If I can't have it at my fingertips within like a moment's notice, it might as well not exist, because that's how I am. But I can see the value in certain scenarios. For a very small team of one person, there's almost no value in it.
That's I've never had a marker board in my office or anything like that and used it in that way. But I just this week, talking to the supply people and said, dig me up a marker board. I need one, because been working on this big project, and it's a team project, a small team project, and we keep like rehashing some of the same things. And I want just a visual of like where I can put like, here's our top 4 to-dos.
Yep.
That need to get done. Here's when each 4 of those need to get done by. And then where I can, and once those 4 are done, it's just going to be the next 4th. Like there's like almost like going to be a never ending things to tackle on this. So I want to be able to keep like, refreshing
that's the Toyota way there, because if you don't have any problems, then you know what they say? Then you have a problem. So the most success I ever had with them, or the way it worked best for me, I did it the Kanban board style, where it's like you have like multiple columns, and then what I would do is you'd put like for the way we used it, the way I did it was we had a waiting to start, in progress, and done column, and then we just put sticky notes on them.
Gotcha.
So when we had like multiple like somewhat bigger projects all happening at the same time with multiple people, and also other people from other departments would want to know where they were at too. It made it really easy. Like, nope, the board's here. Here's those 30 kind of like mid-tier projects.
Right.
And you can see on the list where yours is at, if it's happening, if it's about to happen, when it's going to happen, or if it's done. If you haven't been paying attention, they can just look there and know. That actually worked kind of good for us, but
then you get a little bit of even the sense of completion thing, like when people make the checklist and just get to check stuff off.
Oh, yeah. Marking things off a checklist, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, I did that.
Yep, the progress is just, I'm unstoppable.
A lot of days at work, on a sticky note, I'll make like at some point in time in the day, I just make a very ad hoc checklist for the day where I'm like, these are the 4 things I really, like, I got to get these things done today, and I'll make the checklist, even though I'm not going to forget any of them. I just like to be able to like
scribble that,
and then I'm like, all right, I know I can get these 3 done pretty quick. I'm just going to get these ones done real quick, and then scribble them off there.
Yeah, we have Asana for our
we
team,
do.
but that's kind of a whole different beast, though. That's almost
that's a checklist on steroids.
Yeah, that's kind of just like a living brainstorm list more than anything.
Right.
But there is, when it comes to releases, that is where our releases, like, if we didn't have that, it would be really, really hard to keep track of releases.
True.
Because we get everything, we have our headings for each month and what needs to happen.
If we had to reinvent the wheel every time we wanted to go back to that, it'd be like, now, what were we talking about? Like when we last talked about this like 2 months ago?
Yeah, because that actually does happen where we're like, I think we had this idea in there. And we go pull up the card for that one. And we actually had whole lists of things we wanted to do. Like, it's almost done already.
Right.
You just forget because so many things happen.
Well, and sometimes that's the idea process, or like maybe like the creative process. You just need to write something down that day because the rest of it hasn't hit you yet. And then by the time you revisit it, you're like, yeah, that's a good idea.
I think there is something major to it when it comes to like creative and more abstract things is you figure out what it is and what needs to happen. You put it in your brain and then you just like close the door and leave. And let's just let that stew in the back without even really thinking about it much.
And then maybe when you come back to it later, you're like,
you do. Yeah. Or because it's been sitting in the back of your mind, you'll be like, whatever. Driving home one day and it just hits you because you kind of are, it's just
there.
Sort of cooking on low process back there. And then something will stick once in a while. So that is the way to do that.
Yeah. That's free advice.
Yeah.
Unless you're a supporting member, you just paid for it.
Don't get that in business school.
You know who else didn't go to business school? Bon Jovi. Dick Ramstein.
Oh, I should read. I think I have an ad here.
All right.
Today's show is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he'd ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, world, and Massenomics powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit TexasPowerBars.com.
Thanks, Texas Power Bars.
Thank you.
Should we bring this one to
I think that's everything,
end?
isn't it? I feel like we did it all.
Yeah. I hate to watch the episodes go, but I love to watch them leave. I hate to see the episodes go, but I love to watch them leave.
I totally know what you're saying.
The episodes
Say
are
no more.
The episodes are short, but the segments are long. Buy your stuff. Tommy, where do they find you at? Give you the short version. Buy our stuff.
Buy that stuff. You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.